Hello, everyone. This is Trisha Schmalhofer with BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, Mystics. And I am here today with the lovely, the fabulous, the exciting, the queen of something.
Who am I? That's a good question.
What's your name?
Oh, I'm Robin Krasny, everybody. Hi, how are you? The queen
Of something.
of
Purple.
something. Of the queen of purple today. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
And I was so funny. We picked cards, and I picked Soul Family, and you are such my soul family. I just appreciate being out of lockdown so I could come and see your face.
Yes.
In Portland.
Yes. And you know
Yeah.
what? You... even in lockdown, I don't know if we actually communicated on the phone, but I'd see things you were doing online.
Same.
And but when you're in a soul family with someone, when you see them, even after 2-3 months of not seeing them, it's kind of like
Just start where
it's
you
a
left
connection.
off. Yeah.
We're not like, oh my God, you haven't called me. It's just like, hey, sister,
Hey,
you know.
soul sister. I see you in my meditation all the time.
I know, and I always feel connected to Robin, and I asked her to be on, and she was like, yes. And when she came in today, it was like a ping pong ball around the room. She's like, I haven't been out of the house in 3 months. This just feels great, and I forgot how to put makeup on, and I actually had to do my roots last night. I'm like, I did my henna.
Yeah, it's all for you. No, it's actually for me. It's the vanity in me. But you know what? I used to think that, the hair thing and the makeup thing, I have to do it for the performances that I do and for on-camera stuff that I do.
Yeah.
And it gets a little bit like, I'm tired of doing it, you know? And then after not doing it for 3 months, I'm like, oh, that's right. I haven't had to take the time and the energy to do it. But how do I look?
I know, right?
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
I look like my avatar.
Yes. I know, that's
I
the new
spent last
thing now.
night doing that.
did.
Oh, it's hilarious. I was like, oh my God.
You know, the thing is,
This guy looks just like me, this other guy that was on. I was like, do I look like a dude? My avatar? Because
I saw everyone's into that right now. What was I going to... we're talking about makeup and all that. And in quarantine, you know, we've both been doing stuff live on the different platforms. And I have not been wearing makeup. I've been like just getting out of the shower, pulling my hair back because it's all about, you know, being supportive to our community, being authentic. It's like, hey, we're all in this. That's why... putting makeup on and doing my hair today because the lights in here really do show stuff, so we have to put something on our faces. Or
no Photoshop going on in this right now.
I know, nothing going on here. But so we were talking a little bit about we want to talk a little bit about the quarantine and the different. It was a time to kind of rest and regroup and reevaluate. And for me, the big word was adapt.
Oh, yeah.
I had to adapt my business because I do hands-on therapy. And so do you. Well, one of many things we both do. Robin and I are both multifaceted, multi-talented human beings. And for that, we are very fortunate.
Yes.
I know a lot of hands-on touch therapists that had nothing to fall back on. And they just had no income, you know? And I do soul realignment readings. I do tarot card readings. I was doing Facebook Lives. I can do readings over video. I can
do healings over Zoom and counseling sessions and readings and all that kind of stuff.
Remote healing.
Remote stuff, yeah.
I've been keeping up with the podcast. I haven't been coming in here as often, but I started on another platform just to keep things going out there. And
I had to go within. I mean, you've been out there
you.
serving our community in spirit and
I have.
serving the oneness in such huge ways.
Yes.
And I felt a little bit like, I'm not doing anything. But you know what I needed to do? Rest.
Yes.
I needed to rest and take care of me a little bit. I've been out there doing all kinds of things. I'm the vice president of the Melbourne Municipal Band, which I love and adore. I miss playing. So does everybody in our band, by the way. And I'm on the board of the Complementary Cancer Care Center that does complementary, the things that we do for people who are going through cancer treatment.
Like holistic health care.
Yeah. So I'm on a lot of those things that are responsibilities and activities. I'm also taking improv.
I know.
Try doing improv on Zoom. That's so different.
It's still on my list to do. Before COVID, the pre-COVID time period, that's going to be our, that's, yes.
BC.
That is, I was looking to join a class, but one had already started.
You gotta
and so
come.
I will, I promise, because that is on my list, because I know I will love it.
I will love having you in class.
What else are you doing that on Zoom? What else?
Yes, with my brother as my teacher.
Yes.
Did you know that? He's so
Kraz.
funny. Kraz. He's got the channel called The New Beekeeper Guy on YouTube on Guardian Kraz. If you ever want to learn anything about bees and beekeeping, he is the dude. He's awesome.
Now that you're mentioning that, my brother-in-law's a beekeeper. I have friends, their daughter just started beekeeping. But that is one thing in quarantine, because even though I'm doing all this stuff, I have rested. I cleaned my garden. I started new plants.
Come to my house.
I have a spot ready for chickens now.
Wow.
And I've been talking to a lot of people that have been doing that. Beekeeping, starting the gardens, getting chickens, like things they've always wanted to do
baby.
around the house. Yes, and they're cleaning their house, upgrading and organizing.
I haven't gotten that far yet, the cleaning and upgrading part, because I was resting.
But
no,
you know
actually, I
what?
was serving my boyfriend hand and foot because he
Yes.
got in a skateboarding accident. And right on March 13th, right when this
I'm not
quarantine-
laughing. I'm here laughing when she's talking about her boyfriend getting into an accident, but I'm laughing about something else. I am not laughing about that. Whitney, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for your broken ribs.
Yeah, he fell. And it was March 13th, and he was supposed to go skiing in Colorado the next day. And I kept telling him, I don't think it's a good idea to go skiing right now. I don't think it's a good idea. And he's like, he was for sure going to go. And then he wiped out so bad he couldn't even get off the couch. So nobody went skiing.
So you were his healthcare worker.
Oh.
His personalized health
Chef,
assistant. Yes.
Healer, all that kind
That's
of
a
stuff.
full-time job.
Yes, and when your patient is a little bit like, it is very hard to do.
Are you listening, Whitney? Do you hear what she's saying about
I'm
you?
not talking about you, baby. I swear. I'm not talking about you. It's true. He was a difficult patient. But, when the doctors would come in and they would say the exact same things that I would say, then I just kind of went, Yeah. Sometimes healers don't get the kudos that they get for their years of experience in doing what we do, which is maybe just empathic work,
Yes.
You don't have necessarily a degree in empathic work, but let me tell you, you and me, we probably have like PhDs in times 4 in the work that we've done. And
Yes.
a lot of times because you don't have a PhD after your name, people don't take you seriously. But let me tell you, the people that have put me back together again have been the healers.
Yes. We've both been on our long journey of healing, and but there's more and more people that are appreciating our knowledge.
Especially right now.
Yes.
Because,
Yeah.
when we find ourselves in this situation that we're in, and the immune system being attacked by this virus, we were like, oh, well, what can we do to boost the immune system? Well, I've been studying that stuff for eons of time. So everything that I have already put into practice in my life is now
You're practicing it fully.
Now,
Yes.
if I got the virus, who knows how my body would react? I don't think anybody really can know for sure. But I've got my arsenal of herbs. I've got my arsenal of healing tools, my PEMF mat. I do PEMF therapy. I've got copper. I've got, all the kind of holistic things that I can do, and my good diet
Yes.
to keep myself healthy during these times. And that's super duper important, not just for yourself, but for the people that are in and around you, is to keep yourself healthy. So it's really about self.
That is the number one important thing about what's going on. It's getting your immune system up. And if you aren't aware of it, there's so many resources and people you can go to. But I'm like you.
Qigong, yoga.
There wasn't much I had to do to get ready for quarantine and this whole thing, because it's like my house is already like essential oils here, a closet full of herbs here, my Beamer mat, my
You have a
meditation
healing
journey.
ashram at your house.
I do. I really do. So and visualization. I would visualize my immune system fighting the virus. You talk to your body.
You breathe it in.
You breathe. And we're going to talk a lot about breathing.
I'm so excited about that.
So let's see. Well, I want to acknowledge Noelle Smith is watching live,
Hi,
and
Noelle.
she says that we both look lovely and that we, the audience, would have taken us any way we showed up.
That's so sweet.
She is very sweet. Thanks, Noelle.
We
And
appreciate that.
I honestly am, I'm one of those people that honestly don't usually wear a lot of makeup and stuff, but yeah, when you're in like blinding lights, you got to at least consider
It helps.
Consider it. So I was going to go into, I have Jesse Halls, our producer, our fabulous producer, and I'm making him work extra hard today.
You're so far away.
Well, Jesse. So I was going to play a video. So those of you, Robin, like list out different things. Wait. Before you list them out,
Okay.
what news did you want to share that you just got hired for?
Oh, I just got cast in an animated series. Wah! It's so exciting. I'm really excited about it because I get to do a bunch of character voices and I get to do all kinds of things like that. You know, I get to do my vocal stuff, which is just so exciting. And I'll probably play about 3 or 4 characters in this animated series, which is going to be shopped to places. So
Do you know the name of the series?
it may change, but for now, I believe it's called Street Smart.
Oh.
I don't know. I think that's what it is. Hold on. The producer texted me today. Street Smart.
Street Smart. And yes, in production, things change all the time. So you got that news just today?
Well, what's funny is I've been waiting for my stimulus check to show up big time. And it wasn't. I got credit card bills. I got all kinds of things I could pay with it. And it didn't show up. And then this gig happened. I got a phone call just last week. And then 2 days later, my stimulus check showed up just in time for me to be able to flesh out my studio, which is stimulating my business. So I'm actually using it for that instead of tequila naked parties or something, you know. Which, God knows, it could have gone that way.
It could have gone either way. So
I'm really happy about
so
this.
besides character voices, Robin is a fabulous singer and a musician. She plays so many instruments.
Not guitar, though. But you know what? We focus on our strengths, not our weaknesses.
That's right.
right?
That's right.
I can tune a guitar.
She can dance. She is a yoga instructor. She does a
Qigong teacher.
Oh, I didn't know you taught Qigong.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
And she has a program called Breathe With Me that we'll talk about a little bit more. And what else? What else is in your repertoire?
Jeez, Louise.
you-
I'm a poet.
Yes.
I was nominated International Poet of the Year in 2008.
That is fabulous.
I know, right? I didn't win the prize, but I
you
certainly
were nominated.
I was a nominee.
Your work was recognized.
That's right, and I got a trophy to prove it.
There you go. And she writes lyrics to songs. There's so many things she does that we're probably not listing. So
I've been an actress for many years.
Yes, you have.
So
what are some things you've been in?
You wouldn't know them unless you like horror films where people die gruesome
A
deaths.
lot of people like horror films. Tell
I
us.
was in a film called Death Mask with James Best, who was my acting teacher. Roscoe P. Coltrane from the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yep.
What a great guy. He died a few years ago, and we just really miss his presence was greater than anything. So he was a really great force in my life. Death Mask was a lot of fun to do with his son-in-law, Michael Damian, who was on the One Life to Live or something like that. All My Children, that's what it was.
Yes.
And his wife, Janine, who was Mr. Best's daughter. Anyway, that was a long time ago. The Night Brings Charlie, which was the lowest budget film. Well, not the lowest budget, because I've done lower than that, but I get my head cut off in that one. That's a lot of fun.
That is.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That is
And let's see, I've been in a movie called Pretty Obsession where I was co-producer as well as doing makeup, wardrobe, script supervisor. I did a lot.
But
on
look
that
at
film.
how much you learned.
Oh, dude. One of my producer friends in LA that hired me to do The Martial Arts Kid and some of the other films I've done, he and I worked on Night Brings Charlie together 35 years ago, and he just happened to run into me at a Staples out in LA, and I was been putting together the film festival with Dr. Terry Cronin and the Three Boys Productions, and we're going to have our 22nd year this year. Anyway, Mikey B stopped me and said, "Hey, I got a film I want to get in the festival," and I was like, "Hey." Turns out James Best, my acting teacher's niece, was in that film. and he was coming in as our special guest. There's always synchronicity with me.
And I'm just seeing this web of connections.
Oh, it's so fun to map it out and see all these different connections.
Even with the job you just got with the voices, you were saying it was like a connection from somewhere else that led to that.
I was just in LA with my friends Ron Moss, who was on The Bold and the Beautiful for 25 years playing Ridge, and his wife Devin, who was a playmate from 1985, a Star Search supermodel, and the one that won the 100th grand.
Star Search.
You remember that?
Oh my gosh, that was what, 80s,
86,
90s?
85 or 86 is when she won. I didn't know her, but I remember standing in front of the TV cheering for her, literally jumping up and down for her when she won.
Yeah.
Turns out she married my friend Ron.
Okay.
And I remarried them in Italy.
Is that one of the pictures that we're going to show?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll show that in a little while. We're going to go to a break. We'll play that Titanic video when we come back, Jesse. Okay, so we're going to talk about the island.
Okay, first, can I just mention our film called The Martial Arts Kid? That's the one that we just did in Cocoa Beach, this anti-bullying, and you should watch it now during quarantine.
The Martial Arts Kid.
The Martial Arts Kid. It's got Dragon Don Wilson, who grew up in Cocoa Beach, and it's got all some local things that you'll recognize, and I've got a little bitty part, but I was production coordinator on that film.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
So before we go out, we're going to listen to Robin and Eddie is the group that Robin's in, robinandeddie.com, and this is your new song.
Yes, but we've been playing together for 20-something, 8 years, and
Yes.
this is one of our... we've done this a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
called The Island. Why did you
Oh,
pick...
the island. We're going to
Yes,
do
we're
not
gonna
Titanic
No,
proportions.
we were going to start with that, but we ended up chit-chatting through when I was going to play it. So
Yeah, we
we'll
had a
do that
technical
later.
malfunction earlier.
So The Island is the song we're going to hear.
Yeah.
And so set up the stage for that.
Well, it's a song it's a song written by a friend of ours named Lathan Hudson, who's a country songwriter, wrote songs for like Dolly Parton and stuff like that, and B.J. Thomas. Anyway, he saw us play at a gig in what is now Meg O'Malley's years ago and says, I want you to record some of my songs. So we thought this song was really awesome. And it's called The Island. You'll hear in the background, I had a huge drum line and didgeridoos. And
It sounds-
we
lots of
fleshed out
sounds,
this
yeah.
song. It took us years to produce this song and a lot of money. And it was originally on our CD, but we remastered it, re-released it right after the Bahama hurricane.
Which was right before COVID.
Right,
Yes.
because it was last year, because
Yeah,
we,
end of
in
last
the
year.
song, we have this line that's a Uma, Bahama, Mama, Mama, wave.
I heard it, yeah.
It's just a beautiful song, and Eddie and I just maxed it out. Frankie Lutz is playing steel drums. It's a really fun
Okay.
song, and just breathe and enjoy the environment of the island.
Okay, we'll just listen to a little snippet of it before we...
Set my ship for sailing. The sails are wide and free. Waiting for the morning wind to take me out to sea. Somewhere out on this ocean, an island waits for me. And I know if I find paradise, that's where it's gonna be. I first heard tell of the island with its sheltered blue lagoon from a shipwrecked sailor, and he swore on the sailor's moon that the beautiful island women would fill the dreams of a sailing man. And as soon as his ship was ready,
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com. Space Coast Podcast. Talk hard!
Join us for the fresh, new For Your Best Self podcast with Drs. Anita Saluja and Rebecca Novo of Dermatology plus Plastic Surgery. We will reveal the facts about techniques, trends, products, and procedures to be your best self. The first and only podcast combining the synergy of aesthetic dermatology plus plastic surgery. Search For Your Best Self on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify.
We are back. This is Trisha Schmalhofer with BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, and Mystics. We took a shorty break that time just because Robin and I like to talk
A lot.
So that was The Island, and it was beautiful and very complex. And you were saying the editing was pretty complicated with all of the different drum beats and sounds.
We had so many different instrumentation pieces to kind of integrate in that. But it was a fun song to do, and it still makes me feel good when I hear it. And that's what I guaranteed myself in the studio. If there was something I didn't want in there or it needed to be fixed, I had to address it then. Otherwise, I was going to hear it for the rest of my life.
Yeah, exactly.
handle that, so.
Exactly. It's okay to be a perfectionist when it comes to creating art and music and things like that, because, like you said, it's
my
lasts
work.
forever.
I know.
Yeah, and it's your work. We were going to talk, about, there's another video that we were going to watch a little piece of, because it's like over 4 minutes. It's Titanic proportions.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So let's set this up, though. It's just showing the wide range of different music that Robin and Eddie do, because they really do a lot of different kinds of sounds. And so this is Robin and Eddie and The Secrets.
Which is our band, The Secrets.
Who were the other members of the band?
Well, right now, we always thought we'd be Robin and Eddie and The Secrets, and The Secrets could be whoever that was in the place at the time. But right now, it's our drummer is Brian Pridemore, who happens to be in LA right now, and my brother, Scott Krasny, on bass.
Scott Krasny.
Lawyer by day, musician by night.
Yes.
That's what he does.
And then Eddie Fisher.
Oh, yeah, I
is
forgot Eddie, yeah. Jeez, Eddie Fisher. What a guy.
Yeah.
He has been my partner for way too long, and he is a very creative human being. He wanted to do this this video so badly that I was like, okay, have at it, man. Just do it. And so it's kind of a combination. I ended up coming in and editing some of it, but really great job. Really fun.
It is, because it's called Titanic proportions, so they use like kind of little shots from the movie Titanic and the
Well, also our friends, rest his soul, Bill Bowling, he had a van called the Titanic Tragedy, which contained like some relics from the Titanic and another ship that was nearby. Anyway, they let us use this van and their property to do some of the shots that you'll see on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll watch that far
That's
in,
okay.
but yeah, we'll see. So let's go ahead and play that.
It was fun to make. I have to mention the producer.
Yep, there's the van.
Like we're going on a long cruise.
And the champagne, yes, they're going on the Titanic.
Yep, something can't happen bad here. No.
And that's the drummer.
That's Brian. That's my brother, Scotty.
Titanic proportions, you were to me.
Oh, and you know what? Bill Williams of A Cut Above Video shot this video and did the editing. He's a great, great video producer if anybody has needs. Jesse does stuff here, but...
The TV announced it, one missing one.
Oh, wait, what is...
And we released this at the 100th year anniversary of the Titanic going down.
Okay. That's Eddie, and that's Robin. Robin, you look so pretty in this.
Yeah, it was before menopause.
You have the spotlight on you.
It was before I raised my daughter, too, so...
Okay.
Oh, wait, just wait one second. This is when we come back from this whatever journey that we went on. And this guy here is Bill Bowling. He was a very interesting character. And there comes the ship parts. Oh, guitar. And the pirates. And that parrot His name was Evil.
Was he evil?
Yeah,
Did he peck at you?
he almost did. The owner took him off of me just in time. But he was patient enough to give me people didn't think the parrot was real. And then all of a sudden the parrot turns his head and they're like, oh, that was a real parrot. I'm like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
authentic pirate stuff, you know?
That's right.
And that shirt was an authentic pirate shirt.
It was.
Yes, there's a
That's
long
so
story
cool.
behind the shirt. Yeah.
Yes. There's a scene in this that wasn't shown, you know, in the movie Titanic when Leo DiCaprio's drawing Kate Winslet on the thing. So you have Robin like laying on the sofa, but she has a little bathing suit thing on. And at the very end, it pans down and Brian, the drummer, is massaging her feet as Eddie is drawing her. So that was just a cute little thing at the end. Like, that's so Robin.
It was so me. It's so badass. You know what I'm saying?
It's very,
I know.
very
I had to
badass.
put like something tongue-in-cheeky on
Of
that.
course you did.
Yeah,
I
it's
wouldn't
just-
expect anything else. So that was at the 100th anniversary of the Titanic.
Yeah.
And was it, you know, is there anything else, any other creations that you're really proud of? Just talk about. We don't have any other clips, but
Oh my God. There's just, you know what? If you remind me of things, they'll come back into my memory.
okay.
You know, when my boyfriend was hit by a truck and killed in 1999, my true love was hit by a truck and killed, I lost my memory. And so it's funny, people come up to me and say, oh, you remember when you did this to me or you did that? And I'm like, no, but if it helped you, great.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of like starting over in a blank slate kind of way.
Yes.
Um,
Which can be a blessing in some ways because
Both.
you're not remembering some stuff that you don't need to be remembering
Exactly.
and hang on to. But yeah, then when you have the cherished moments and memories.
Yeah.
But you know, life will have a way of reminding you of the important things. They will come back around.
an interesting, important thing that happened from that. Years later, I never met his son who was in France. He married this woman, Kellen, I love you. And I'd been with her on Facebook. She said, we're coming to Florida. And Jan and I had this huge healing where we talked about his dad that he needed so badly. And I have 3 beautiful grandchildren now that I didn't have to do anything for except grieve and love. And
Yes.
But the love unfolding over time, that was in 1999 that he was killed. So it was over 20 years ago,
When did Jan come?
just last few months ago.
I thought it was recently.
Yeah. Jan and the boys, and oh my God, we had so much fun. And Kellen just made this whole thing happen.
So 20 years.
Yeah, over 20 years. Yeah, 1999. So it's changed my life. You know, if you talk about the Big Bang in the universe, when I was imploded from that incident, I had, like you said, I had to decide who I was going to be after who I was kind of irreplaceable and gone.
Yep.
And that has been a choice every day of what pieces do I maybe want to bring back and what do I just want to let go.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
It's a new opportunity.
You know what just dawned on me? Because we all have loss, and some are like a brick in the freaking face. Loss. But even with what we're going through right now as a
Lot of
world and society, people are losing not only loved ones, just through dying natural deaths, dying from the virus or dying from other things, but loss of businesses.
Oh, there's an amazing
of
amount of loss
jobs,
going on.
of not seeing family and not connecting to people. I mean, there's so much loss, and there's probably going to be a whole nother layer of PTSD that comes out of this whole experience. But dealing with loss in different ways is
That's what I've devoted a lot of my life to after that. Because I was helping people cross over before that.
Yes.
I do a lot of work with people dying of cancer, and I was able to help them transition and let go of their attachments to earth, all spiritual stuff that if you don't do this work, you're like, what? But maybe like a spiritual hospice-y kind of person, you know? And I noticed that after Jean-Pierre was killed, that work I couldn't do for a while because I was not tethered to the earth anymore. And I knew that if I were to help somebody, I just may walk over with them and not come back.
right.
So it took
Yeah.
me a while to reintegrate back into my body, back to the earth. And that's how I kind of developed my Breathe With Me technique.
Yes, we will talk about that when we come back. I want to talk, we're not going to go to break quite yet. I wanted to share, I was just sharing with Jesse because we were sharing about loss and stuff. And I was even experiencing a little bit of loss from a Facebook memory that popped up 5 years ago. And this was a loss of a relationship.
So loss is loss.
It is. And I was engaged. This was 5 years ago.
I didn't know you were engaged.
I was engaged. I was living with my then fiance, and we had split a few months after that. But this particular memory was one of my pet peeves that he did. Was he left cabinet doors open and drawers open. He would be in a room and every drawer would be open and he'd leave.
Sure wasn't a poltergeist or something?
No, and so this was just something he did, and I have a lot of little things that I do, but I took pictures of it and posted. I'm like, anyone have this problem with their partner? And you know what? Fabulous guy. I haven't seen him in years, but I saw that 5-year memory, and you know, in one hand, he's been coming up a lot because I guess Venus was just in retrograde, past relationship stuff was coming up. But in one hand, I'm like, that was only 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. And then the other hand, 5 years seems like so long ago.
Yes.
So time like disappears when you're talking about loss.
It's totally. And I used to say that right after it happened, you know, and I lost another boyfriend after that too, which was just a few years ago in a tragic accident, rappelling. He fell 100 feet to his death. So yeah, I have dealt with a lot of loss. What happens is time stands still in grief, and yet it seems like you just said, it speeds up, it slows down, it's not real, it is real.
And loss really is, I always say this, one of the hardest things as a human being that we have to navigate through, because there's so many different kinds of loss. Yeah. So
that's why I wrote a song called The Let Go Pill.
Yes, I think you mentioned that last time.
Because it's the hardest one to swallow.
So let's go to break, and we're going to talk about the Melbourne Municipal Band before we go to break. We're going to flash their little logo up, and you mentioned them a little bit, but you're on the board for them.
Well, yes, because my mother is an original member of the Melbourne Municipal Band, which started like between 1963 and 65, which is when I was born. So I was literally born into the band, going to their rehearsals, their performances my whole life. And then I started playing with them in 8th grade because I play the clarinet. And just over the years, I've gone back, and it's just been a real good way. And in my grief, it was an excellent way to stay present, because when you're looking at all those little notes and you're playing and you're breathing, you can't think about all this other stuff. You've got to really stay focused, and it helped me to get through the grief.
Mm-hmm. What do you play in the band?
I play clarinet and sometimes percussion, because a lot of times we're percussion short. Anybody out there want to play percussion with the Melbourne Municipal Band? When we come back, we need you.
And they play concerts like twice a week.
No, we rehearse once a week, and then sometimes we play concerts like every other month. And then we play also pouch jobs, we call them, where they're parades and they're, you know, all kinds of community things that we do.
Yes.
Also, I'm very proud of this. I'm a teacher in our Melbourne Municipal Band summer youth band that is canceled this year. I'm really sad for the students, because we've been doing this now 10, 15 years, and every summer I've watched these kids grow and change and do some amazing things on these instruments. They come in not knowing what to do, and after this camp they play a concert at the end of 4 weeks.
Yes.
It is a tremendous program that we do for free for the community.
Good. At Melbourne Municipal Band. You can find them on Facebook.
Yes.
All right. We're going to be back in a little while. Is that okay?
Hey there, this is Jesse Hull, and I want to remind you to tune into Business Elite Brevard Edition. And what we do on Business Elite Brevard Edition is bring to you some of the biggest movers and shakers on the Space Coast. These could be industry leaders, tech innovators, and social influencers. And what we do is kind of bring them on, ask them some of the most relevant questions that you may not know about. And these are people who may not be in the news, but they are making moves behind the scenes. Again, tune in. Business Elite Brevard Edition.
All right. This is Doug Monda,
This is Karen Monda.
And Chris Hadaway.
and we're the host of Survive, the new podcast brought to you by the Survive First Foundation, a nonprofit organization assisting first responders and their families in need of mental health support due to the lifestyle of being a first responder. So, Chris, tell us what we're going to have.
We're coming to you from retired and active law enforcement officers as well as their spouses to discuss the responder life.
Don't forget, this is an unedited and raw podcast, so we need your interactive suggestions and advice to help us help others.
So find us live on our Survive First Facebook page and join in the conversation. Or find us on demand on Spotify, iTunes, or anywhere you listen to podcasts from the Space Coast Podcast Network to you.
All right, we're back. This is Trisha Schmalhofer with BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, Mystics, and I'm here with Robin Krasny.
Hi, everybody.
Robin has quite a family in Melbourne, Florida. They're like famous. They are. You have how many brothers?
I have 4 brothers.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of them is in London with his Irish wife, and they're in lockdown over there. And my other brother's in Moscow with his Russian wife,
wow.
and they're locked down over there. So it's been interesting. We've been doing Zoom family calls.
Yes, we have too.
What a blast that
Yes.
is.
Thank God for Zoom and there's other video
Yeah.
platforms that are stepping up and
Yeah.
helping families stay connected. Yeah.
Thank God. You know what my brother said? My brother Kraz, who is the performer here in town with
The improv
with the Funky
guy.
Dog Improv. If I can put out a plug to anybody, Funky Dog Improv, you've got to go check them out because every Tuesday,
Yeah.
Carol's Corner, Saturday shows, classes, they're fabulous. You must check them out. Anyway,
They're not doing Not Quite Right Improv anymore?
well, it changed names.
Oh.
It's the same group. It's the same stuff. They just
Okay.
changed. They're a nonprofit now. And they need your help because they can't do shows right now. And they're trying to build another bathroom in their facility. So
What's the name of the group now?
Funky Dog
Funky Dog.
Improv. Funky
Okay,
Dog
I'll have to
Improv.
like their page
Oh,
because I
please
liked
do.
Not Quite Right Improv. So I've seen them live so many times.
It's so
just
much
an
fun.
awesome
Anyway,
show.
what Kraz said, which is very interesting because his wife is a school teacher, my
Mm-hmm.
sister-in-law, he says, if it wasn't for this pandemic thing where we all got isolated inside and had to go to virtual schooling, they kept telling teachers, oh, it won't work, we can't do that, it's too troublesome to do virtual schooling everywhere, make it uniform. Now they're forced to do it. And if it wasn't for this huge,
Yes.
that part of our reality wouldn't have opened up so interestingly.
It's true.
And we could save a lot of pollution and gas and all that stuff just by doing things virtually.
You and I are both environmentalists. We love the earth. We do our part. And that is one of the things, like 2 weeks into the stay at home thing, water started running clear in places like the Venice canals were clear. It's
and the
just
air
everything.
over China was clear.
Yeah, just the earth.
LA.
Yes.
I mean, so cool.
It gave the earth a chance to heal. And what we were saying in the beginning, I did and you did, and a lot of people took that opportunity to go within and do our own healing and clearing and cleansing and resting. And connecting to the earth. I was outside almost every day in the first month. And, and we were talking about the online schooling and stuff. That kind of got my butt going with you've been wanting to do online classes. You've been wanting to film stuff. You've been wanting to learn how to do interviews and podcasting with people that aren't in the area. 'Cause some people I can't get in the studio and I'd love to interview them and they live somewhere else in the world. And now I have that set up to do that. So
you are an amazing badass alchemist and mystic. You really are.
I damn well am. And I accept it and I embrace it.
Embrace that bamness.
Embrace it. And Joanna Salerno commented, thanks so much for watching lives. Joanna, she said, wow, I knew I had to watch today. Really resonated. And I know that you're talking about the lost segment, Joanna. And I'm thinking of you today and I love you. And your son, Jesse, I love him and he's here as well. So we are all in this together, folks. You know, we're all in this together. And
you know what can help people during this time?
what?
Some simple breathing exercises.
Let's talk about breathing.
Yeah.
You love breathing.
I do. Don't we all?
But I mean,
seriously.
no, like we forget about breathing. Breathing is an essential function. We breathe without even.
There's an earthquake in Florida.
Robin, stop breathing. The camera.
Wait,
Jesse was taking a deep breath, and he hit the camera, and it like went flying, but he caught it. He has good reflexes.
Yes. Agile.
So yeah, and that's the thing. As soon as you mention breathing, almost everyone goes, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. And one of my students used to say, you know, anytime I'm riding down in my car, I can hear your voice in my head saying, breathe. Because, okay, we breathe unconsciously most of the time. I mean, it's automatic. It's autonomic, you know? And when we infuse our awareness into our breath, it becomes a whole new life-giving experience because you can take intention into that breath. You can take healing prana. You can spin it on your breath as you inhale it. And I always talk to people about, ahhing and breathing in through your nose instead of your mouth because nose breathers have less respiratory problems than mouth breathers do, right? So as you exhale completely, relax, but don't collapse. Okay, because you know, when people relax, sometimes they go, and there goes your lungs.
I do that
right?
sometimes.
So posture is what I teach my students all the time. Posture, very important. Oh, I've also been teaching voice lessons over Zoom.
Oh.
And breathing and voice lessons. It's very cool.
I may take some lessons. I was looking for a voice teacher because
Yeah,
I've
bring
been
it on.
getting a lot of messages. I need to sing more, or and speaking. So
And chanting and all that.
Yeah,
But using your breath has everything to do with
don't forget about
So
that.
we're relaxing and not collapsing. Okay, so the breath wave, I like to say, begins by drawing the breath in and bringing all the way to the base of your spine, your tailbone even. Imagine bringing your breath out your butthole. Okay? You
I
feel
never thought of that before.
Yeah,
I
man.
usually just fill my lower belly, but you're saying take it all the way down to the
Where does the
coccyx.
Kundalini reside?
Yeah, you're right. It's the Kundalini's between the butthole and the
That's the
keyhole.
taint. They call that the taint.
What do they call it?
The taint. Taint asshole, taint pussy. Sorry. For those of you who didn't grow up with four brothers, I apologize.
Or it's a perineum. I believe
I
it's
call it a perineum. But hey,
Perineum.
you say potato, I say potato.
Yeah, perineum. Anyway,
Yeah.
that space between the two openings in the nether region.
In the Netherlands.
So
yes, you're going to
breathe-
breathe down to that spot because that's a base root chakra. Oh, I have a chakra video that I'm very proud of too on YouTube. You can go check it out. But
What's
anyway,
your YouTube channel?
if you breathe down to
What
the
is your YouTube
well, I
channel?
have like 3 or 4, and their videos are everywhere.
Of
but
course,
this one's
Robin.
on. If you search up Robin Krasny's chakra introduction, there is one. It was done by Yoga Lifestyles, and we did a meditation and also a video on basics, very basics about the chakras. So
Okay.
they're super simple, and it's just an introduction for people who don't know what the hell a chakra is and they want to know. So it's for those of you who are advanced, there's plenty of other information you can go find about the chakra system. But the chakras are energy centers in the body. They're active. They're never stagnant. There's always energy moving in and around them. And they kind of work with your endocrine system. And your spine, the chakras are all up your vertical center of the body, right? And they relate to the endocrine system, which are your glands that secrete hormones and things like that for harmony.
yes.
Harmony in
Harmony.
harmony in your body. You want some harmony. So what I like to do, and I really understood this after studying pulsed electromagnetic frequencies, the earth resonates at a particular frequency.
Schumann's resonance.
And so do our brains. But it resonates to the same frequency as the earth. And how we connect, if you think about a bolt of lightning, the lightning actually, a lot of the electrons gather in the earth first before it pulls the lightning down.
yes.
Okay, that
pulls it
fascinating me.
down.
That was so cool. So guess what we do with our breath? We're pulling it down.
I've been breathing out my butthole
Good
since
for
you've
you.
been talking.
Oh, how's that feel?
It feels really
It
good.
feels good, doesn't it? Now, as if that's the beginning part of the breath, is that lower belly butthole breath. And now, I'm going to become famous for that, and I don't know if I want to be. But anyway, breathe out your butthole, and then breathe up into your middle ribs and expand your middle ribs. And then exhale. So that's step 1 is the lower belly boho breath, and then the middle
into
ribs,
the ribs.
and the
Okay.
back. So you're expanding wide and open, feeling those intercostal spaces opening
So
up.
it's like you're bringing the breath down and then filling
Filling it all
into
the way
the
up,
midsection.
and then up into the upper chest.
Okay.
And then you imagine the breath coming up and out the crown of the head, back to source.
Now, is this a type
But I'm not
you
done yet.
developed though?
You know what? I all this stuff has been around for thousands
Okay,
of
all
years.
right, all
I'm
right.
just calling it my technique because you know what?
yeah.
Everybody calls something their technique, and it's something that I really feel passionate about, just reconnecting people in 3 breaths. How to be grounded, how to be connected, and how to be open.
Okay. Well,
So this is how we do it. We
Yeah,
ground.
finish.
We got the boho breath going
Yeah,
down.
boho.
And you're breathing, inhaling down. And once you inhale into your boho, imagine it coming down your legs and through the portals of your feet and
Yes.
connecting it down
To the earth.
to the magma, to the center of the earth.
Magma.
Yes, you can also imagine it going
core.
into the crystalline grid of the earth.
Yes.
So you're breathing down so that you are grounded and you're going to pull that breath all the way up through your system, the power of the earth, all the way up your body, bottom, middle, top, and then out the crown of your
crown.
head, connect with the center of the universe,
Yes.
the heavenliness.
Then go up.
That's the electrical. There's magnetic.
Magnetic is the earth,
and
electrical,
electric.
and we are an electromagnetic being. So let's go through those.
And we haven't
steps again.
finished yet.
Oh, keep going. And
Okay,
then we'll
so
go
this
through
the
it.
explanation takes a lot longer than the actual breath technique. After you've breathed up and you've grounded and connected, you're plugged in. You're plugged in. When you exhale, you relax and open your heart and let that energy of the mother, father, the negative and the positive, not negative as in bad, negative as in charge,
Yes.
pulling together. And then as you express that through your hands and through your heart, you are able to give from a place of source rather than from your own energy where you're becoming depleted. So you can't turn on the hairdryer unless you plug it into the wall, right?
Right.
It no worky.
Yes.
So we want to we don't worky very well if we're not plugged in, grounded and connected and open.
Right.
So this breathe with me helps you to ground, breathing all the way up, feel everything open and elongate, and then connect to the heavens. And as you exhale, relax but don't collapse.
When you exhale, are you picturing the breath just leaving through your mouth, or is it like engulfing you?
It can be both.
Go
Yes. And I
out
play
into the
I
cells,
yes, all of the
all
above.
of it. Let's get this on camera
Okay.
and audio, this wonderful breathing technique. Let's quickly go through it one more time, and then we're going to do it 3 times. This
All right.
is Robin Krasny's Breathe With Me technique.
Yes, and it's a technique that's been used for thousands of years, but we're just going to do it together and do it by grounding into the earth. We're going to breathe down into our tailbone. Imagine that breath going all the way down to our feet, into the earth, the crystalline grid, the magma. And we're going to inhale and pull that breath up through the bottom, middle, and upper ribs, and imagine it coming out the top of the head. That's one humongous inhale. And when you get to the center of the universe, as you exhale, relax and open your heart. And let that breath come through your heart. The love flow through your heart. Remember, you're connecting in heaven and earth through you. Some people call that Christ consciousness because we're marrying heaven and earth in our bodies. That's
Which
what
is
we
what
are.
Christ did,
That's what
yes.
Christ did. So by doing this, you get to become present. If your mind is going crazy, if you're having lost thoughts or worry thoughts or anything like that, the best thing you can do is ground with your breath. Breathe all the way up through your body, through your chakras, out the crown of your head. Exhale, relax.
Yes.
3 times.
Yes. And we talked about the Christ consciousness. I almost see when those two merge together, there's like an ignition switch that happens in the heart space and then in the brain, in the cells. It's just like an ignition of light.
Because you become present. Okay, so breathing and feeling and imaging in, you draw that breath down. Your mind is connected to what you're doing. So these are conscious breaths, not just your average laying around the couch forgetting your breathing kind of breaths.
Yeah.
These are conscious breaths. And if you have bare feet on the earth, it's even better. But even if you don't and you're in shoes, you can imagine that breath coming out through your feet and connecting to the earth. Because we are acupuncture needles for this earth.
We are.
And we are going to bring source through ourselves. And when we do, if you're a healer or if you're somebody who has to work or be present for something and you're like a little bit off or fuzzy, You need to ground, connect, and open like you're plugging into the source, because you are. And then you're working not from your energy, but from divine, connected, open energy. Grounded, connected, and open. That's what I like to say.
So we're going to do it 3 times?
Yeah, man.
Let's do it. And then you're going to read your poem.
Okay,
wanna
you
get
tell
that
me
in.
what to do. I would love that. I would
I'm
love that.
telling
You
you.
can. You are a BAM.
I
tell you.
am. I
You
am.
a BAM.
I am.
Okay, ready, guys?
Why do you think
All
I
right.
created this freaking podcast?
I'm so glad
I'm a
you
BAM.
did. You are
Okay.
such a badass.
You ready?
Okay, so you guys at home, please join us, okay? I'm going to invite you to just sit for a minute. It's a super simple technique. We're going to first we're going to exhale everything. Exhale it all out. We're going to breathe in through our nose on the inhale. Wait for the body to breathe you. And then we're going to take that breath in through the nose, all the way down to the tailbone, down through the legs to the center of the earth. Keep breathing in. Bottom, middle ribs, upper chest, crown of head, out through the top of the head. Connect to the center of the universe. And as you exhale, say, relax, but don't collapse. Inhaling down through the center of the earth with your nose breathing. Bottom, middle ribs, upper chest, crown of head. Exhale. You can even say because it feels good. You're opening your heart. Inhaling down through the center of your earth, through your feet. Bottom, middle, top. Open to be connected. And then and then breathe into your
I connected
heart.
a little fast there.
You can do it at your own pace. I'm just trying to talk and do it at the same time. It's not that easy. So let's do it again on our own pace. Yeah. Inhaling empty space to full space. Like you're pulling up earth energy to meet the heavens, and the heavens are coming down, emerging in your heart. There's a love making of heaven and earth. And then when you say, it's that ecstatic, euphoric feeling
It's
of
an
being.
orgasm.
Thank you. It's the breath
That's
orgasm.
what ignition is. It's an orgasm. It's masculine and feminine coming together. We can call it Christ consciousness, and that's fine. But it's also an orgasm of energy, and then that floats through.
It's the connection that we are.
Yeah.
And we forget, and we've forgotten who we are a lot of times. And this breath will reconnect you in a very short time, very quickly. And then from that moment, you can continue to take your breathe with me. And I teach other classes, like if you want to do breathe with me for performance, or breathe with me for, healing grief, or breathe with me for other things, I can take it to a deeper dive, because when you breathe into these spaces and you're grounded and connected, then when you breathe, you can also move energy around your body. You can circulate it for the earth. You can work on sending energy to others, but you need to be plugged in first before you turn on that hairdryer.
Yes. I feel better just doing that series.
How do you guys feel? Better? Yeah, sweet. Jesse gave me a thumbs up. That means a lot.
Do you do arm motions as
I
well?
do all kinds of kriyas. We call that, the arm motions, the whatever feel. You know what? I'm a big believer in what feels right when you start to do this. You follow the prana flow. Prana being chi, life force, energy, ki, depending on what country you're from. We'll call it source energy, universal life flow, spirit energy. So when you breathe and you connect these two opposing forces, the positive and negative, you get
the
Lover's card.
Yes.
And it's funny because
The
I just
lovers.
went through this with Lee McCloskey's book, Tarot Revisioned. If you get a chance to get that book, it's amazing. And we were studying the lovers last night. And there's a heaven and earth connection that is so sweet. And when you get that energy flowing, people ask me, how do I clear my chakras? How do I do this? Well, you're clearing your channel.
Yes.
Every time you breathe. And you may find that you can't quite breathe into your solar plexus.
Right.
That's when there's maybe some stuff there. You can tap on it
That's a
and
good idea.
exhale, because it brings that stuff up. You can also, you're just blocking my camera view,
Sorry.
girl. What you doing?
I adjusted my mic when we were breathing because I didn't want to be like, but now I'm like trying to readjust it and I'm blocking Robin.
She cock blocking my shot. Anyway, so when you breathe like this, you're opening your channels. You're giving the opportunity for the stuck stuff to start to come up and out. And you will experience
So tapping.
on different places, and breathing will help.
Yeah.
Also, as you exhale, if you want to, like sometimes
push
you
in.
want to puke it out, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotions stored in the solar
Not
plexus.
literally puking.
No,
but
well,
like go through that more.
emotional puking.
Like even making the noise and going through and kind of pushing in.
That can help release stuck emotion that's been stored in the cells, you know. Our chakras are way stations for the processing of all that energy. And when they get glommed up and blocked with all this different confusing energy, that we can feel disconnected. So this, first of all, this helps us to connect. It helps us to be present. It helps us to be open so that we can be present for others. It helps us to be able to listen to others, because if you're not present and grounded and connected and open, you really aren't communicating with another human being. You're just like, So if you're scattered and you can't seem to find a focus, this helps you get connected and grounded and open. I love this breathing technique.
This is lovely. This is
and
lovely.
you know what really kind of ticked me off though? I mean, you know, we spiritual people get pissed off too. Breathe With Me Barbie just came out.
I saw.
I was like, what the fuck?
And it looks like you.
It
does. It looks like Robin, and it's Breathe With Me Barbie.
I'm
I
like,
know.
they stole my shit. I've had this
Robin-
for a couple years now.
Robin has been talking about Breathe With Me since I think I first met her. And it's like, Breathe
Whatever.
With Me Barbie.
You know
Yeah.
what? If Barbs can help people breathe,
Yes.
I'm all for it, Babs. You help those people
Babs.
breathe with me, okay?
Yeah.
It's important. It's important for our health.
There's so many health benefits to breathing. It's sleeping, it's digestion, it's mental health, it's staying in the moment, it's fighting trauma.
It's opening the spine and the ribs so
Yes,
that the
yes,
nerve
yes.
energy, this is just a physical aspect, the nerve energy flows more freely. Immune system, all the functions that
Yep.
our hormones and endocrine,
every function in
every
the body,
function in the
pretty
body
much
is improved
benefits.
by
the
increased.
nervous conduction.
God, we could just talk to ourselves like this all day.
breathing.
I know, breathing is the best.
Breathing. It's breathing.
Well, because you know this virus affects people's breathing.
It does.
And
Well, fear does.
Well, yeah.
Fear, anxiety, that's what happens when you are in
You'll
fear.
find
you stop
you'll
breathing.
find that in your chest
Yep,
if you're
anxiety.
Yeah. So there's a lot of different places you'll feel maybe stuck or blocked, and as you keep practicing this, you can open up those spaces and be more present. And your pain relief, it's huge for pain relief.
Yes.
Because pain is also stuck in stagnant energy. So when you open up those channels, it moves out.
Yes.
And so it's a powerful technique. And
Yep.
it's 3 breaths. You can do that.
we can.
Takes a couple minutes.
So we want to, and I do see Brenda Swanson. Hi, Brenda.
Hi, Brenda.
Bam and badasses. How are you? And Snipes Alethea, thank you for tuning
Alethea.
in. Let's just see here. Oh, good. Thanks, Jesse. We had a little, and Brenda, we're going to do a plug for your body butters and bath salts coming up. We had a little glitch in our matrix, and so we're going to go a little extra 15 minutes, Jesse said.
Yay! I love
So
that.
we can go to third break and highlight Brenda Swanson's products. And I gave Robin a little sampley dampley
I can't wait.
of Brenda's body butter, and I have a sample here, and Jesse and his wife have samples, and
You love it?
it is.
Oh, you got a bigger sample
It
than I
is-
do. I want to smell
You
that.
wanna smell?
Yeah.
This one has Zendocrine blend, the doTERRA blend. And
so nice.
it's called, this one is Revive and Refresh. I think you have a sample of, I'm not sure which one you have.
I don't know, it's
but-
in my purse now.
Yeah, but
I'm like,
it's-
this is going in my purse.
It is so clean. That's the first thing Robin said is, what's in this? And I said, I'm telling you, you look at the ingredients and you're like, oh my gosh, I could eat this.
That's what you said. You could eat it, and I
It's-
believe that.
Yeah, and this one actually has the ingredients label.
Oh, you're
if
from
you wanna look at
LA. I see an LA number on
yeah,
here.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Brenda lived out in LA. I had her on last
Oh,
podcast, and she was a model out there. She's done some acting. She's yoga, sculpt yoga. Her thing. So
Ooh.
watch our last podcast.
The
'cause
ingredients
Brenda was
are
here.
lovely. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Brenda is saying she loves this woman and her Barbie way of life and breathing. I think, oh my gosh, Robin and Brenda, you are like soul sisters. I'm telling you.
I
It's like
appreciate that.
we need to get you two together. And I'm going to just do a shout out because I just signed a lease on a new space.
What?
And it's called BAM Community.
Ooh.
And it has a larger classroom space. It's not huge. It will get there, but it's a nice rectangular space, and we're gonna keep with it can probably only fit 10 people or less.
Socially
But,
distanced?
Yes.
Okay.
And so I already have Leah Williamson teaching Tai Chi and Qigong there. Robin Krasny, I have not invited her yet, but
Me,
breathe
pick
with
me,
me.
pick me.
Maybe Brenda Swanson, you can come on up and get a craniosacral session and then teach your sculpt yoga there. But
Yoga
we'll
Nidra.
see.
I teach Yoga Nidra. I forgot to mention that.
We'll talk, but we have 2 therapy rooms there. We're probably going to make a little studio to do a little bit of kind of online streaming of classes as well. So we really, BAM is growing, people. BAM community is growing.
We're not shrinking.
No.
No.
There's a shit ton of badasses, alchemists, mystics out there that need a space. They need a community to shine their light in the world. And this is going to be an in-person space, but the whole view is for it to be virtual and in person and to be growing.
I love you
Because we need
so
this,
much.
right?
Oh
we
my
need
God.
this. Well, I'm a badass. Of
Don't
course
you love her, everybody? Oh.
So Brenda's like, yes, she's down for it. Yay, Bam. Want to meet Robin. We will make that happen. So, all right, let's go to break and feature Brenda Swanson's body butter. There's Brenda.
Ooh, that's a cute
luxurious
picture.
glowing skin, body butters and bath crystals. She gave me a big old stock.
She looks like my friend Lauren.
Oh, Snipes, Alethea, you're asking where? It's going to be in Palm Bay, Florida, which is where I live. That's where the place is, in Northeast Palm Bay. But we will be doing virtual stuff too. So Body by Brenda, the bath salts. I take a nice hot bath with her beautiful bath salts, and then I come out and then just kind of blot my skin, because she said, don't rub your skin, Trisha. You blot it with the towel, and then you put the body butter on, which
There's
is
a method.
still damp.
Like my Breathe With Me method. There's always a method.
There's always a method.
Yes.
And then I put it all over my body, and I just started using Modicum, which is a skincare line she has on her website, brendaswanson.com. And I love the Modicum line, Brenda. I freaking love it. So that's just another natural skincare product. They have this serum and all this stuff. So brendaswanson.com. She might still be doing a special. Check it out. You will not be sorry. These body butters are amazing.
I'm digging body butter.
We'll come back after this.
Okay.
Are you in the market for a new home? Perhaps you need to sell your old home and downsize or relocate. Hey there, my name is Jesse Hall with eXp Realty, and I offer professional real estate services right here on the Space Coast. Give me a call, 321-877-8737 for all of your real estate needs. Again, 321-877-8737 for all of your real estate needs. Buy, sell, invest with the best. Find out more at 321-buysellinvest.com.
Hey, make sure you check out Space Cowboy Justice with your hosts, Blake Stewart and Paul Daly. We're going to be talking about interesting legal issues in the entertainment industry and everything geek. If you're into Star Wars, Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, comic books, we're talking about it. Coming at you from the Space Coast Podcast Studios.
Hey, it's Vinny with the Vinny Marino Podcast Show. I want you to join me Wednesday evenings as we tackle all the crazy headlines and uncover what's missing. Also, we will have exciting guests from our community who have seen it all and not afraid to spill the beans about it. And finally, we can't forget about Vinny's top rants and raves about traffic, restaurants, and events. Join us on Facebook as we go live and take you behind the scenes of each show and let you be a part of it. It's the Vinny Marino Podcast Show, raw, unedited talk all the time, straight to your dome. Live from the Space Coast Podcast Studios. Listen everywhere you find podcasts.
Okay, we're back. This is Trisha Schmalhofer, BAM, Badasses Alchemist Mystics, here with the lovely Robin Krasny. So on break, so we kind of had to break segment. This is our secondary segment. We're going a little longer. And Jesse and I decided on break it's because Robin and I have huge energy fields and we're full of like magnetism, and we basically blew out Jesse's circuits. So
Sorry, Jess.
that is just how it is when you're around Robin and I.
Well,
So,
we're
sorry.
grounded.
We have to dial it down. Maybe we got to dial it back a little bit. Dial it back.
Hard.
A
It's
little
like stage acting versus film acting. You have to
Yes.
like be, and then.
bit. We got to do film
All
acting.
right, it's so tired.
So Robin is a poet.
Yeah.
And she has a poem she'd like to read because she feels, well, you explain. Why do you want to read it today? What is
Well, because of what everybody's going through.
with COVID?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
all the there's so many conspiracy theory bullshit things going on and all sorts of stuff, but
No
the-
matter what you believe, though, it's in our reality right
it's
now.
real. It's,
Yeah.
it's here.
We're
and we're
feeling it.
experiencing it, and it's a life change, it's a transformation, it's a time of transformation, it's
It
an
is.
opportunity
It is.
to clear. Remember what we were talking about, the breathe with me, to help clear your chakras, to clear your life, to clear your closets, whatever it is. It's an opportunity for clearing. And this poem I wrote on March 18th and 19th, 2020. It's called The Clearing. Up ahead, there is a clearing. It isn't far away. Right or wrong, this path we're on will lead us there someday. And this is where the plot unfolds in stories of both love and fear. With choices changing destinies, those choices must be very clear. Create a win. Right now, begin to hold a vision that you want to see. Squash any fear that creeps in here and any doubts about your sanity. Then reaffirm your deep desires. Feel them into form. Ground the details. Flesh them out. See your dream become the norm. The earth can heal. It's true and real. We're watching waters change. The air we breathe becoming clean as our lifestyles rearrange. Don't doubt there is a clearing. Just sense your heart and see this caffeinated realm we knew is longing to be free. From hurried, harried overload, we've all been pushed beyond the brink. We've been forced to march, a grueling march, and told what to believe and think. But this is the blessed balancing. It's come to staunch the bleed and shut us down, each state and town, to give us what we truly need. A break from all the madness, an opportunity to rest, to give us peace and solitude, and count the ways we're blessed. So enjoy your deep aloneness. Let the silence fill you up. Let clarity of mind and heart begin to fill your cup, and savor every breath you take and every sunset you may see. Don't take for granted kindness now. It's the fuel of what's to be. Trust there is a clearing, and good will flow from here. Love your neighbor as yourself, and choose love instead of fear. Inhale golden healing light. It flows through time and space. Let sacred healing, centered calm, become the new world we embrace. The Clearing by Robin Krasny.
Will you let me take a picture of that and post it on the BAM?
Sure, this is
page?
not a really great copy, but
Well,
yeah.
I'll
I
make
think
it
I
look pretty.
posted one. I'll send
Well,
you the
figure.
PDF.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And I wanna just say, you know, Robin is such a gifted human, but she also gives away so much of her talents, time, and she doesn't have a lot of treasures to give because she does give so much of her talents and time away. You do.
I know.
So you do, it's not that you don't get compensated for what you do, but I want to point out.
Love is a compensation, food is good too.
I want to point out, well, and you have your paying gig right now for doing the voiceovers.
Hasn't started yet, but it
right,
will.
It is. But you do need money. And, I want to get the Breathe With Me class going. I've been saying this to you for years. So it's like, because you do need compensation, monetarily, but Robin gives so much of her time to different charities in the area. She always is doing things for others, like always. So I'm just, you're just a wonderful human, and I love you. And I just want people to know this about you. And I get on her about her business stuff and all that, but Robin is just, she's just full
I've
of
been
love.
told I have a free spirit, but it's like giving. To me, my mom is a giver. She's always been a volunteer.
Let's pull up some photos, because we had this plan for the first segment, and then we just talked right through it. But I asked Robin to give me some photos. One of her mom is on there. That's on this next page. Will you?
So that's my mommy up there. Her name is Althea.
So the top left is Althea and Robin. For those that
Bangs.
Yeah, this was Robin how old were you here?
Oh, this is just a few years ago.
Oh, okay. You have darker hair and bangs.
Yeah.
But it's her mom's behind her, and it's just such a sweet picture, and they do look alike. You can see the resemblance. Your mom's
I could
like your hero, isn't she?
You know why?
Why?
Talk about a giver. I come by the giving naturally. My mom was the eternal volunteer. She volunteered for everything. And then she was president of the band for years and years and years because nobody ever wanted her to stop.
Right.
Yeah, and she gives constantly, and now she's at home and we're trying to keep her safe because she has a lung issue.
How old is she?
84.
Okay. Sorry, Althea.
No, it's okay. She doesn't care. She fell down and hit her head right before this COVID thing happened, and she also had pneumonia. So we're trying to keep her safe and well.
Can we pull up the pictures again?
But my
Jesse?
daddy's cool too. You guys
yes,
would love
and
my
we don't
dad.
have pictures of your dad. What's that? You are. Did you marry?
Oh yeah, that's Ron and Devin, Ron
the
Moss
middle
and
there.
Devin DeVasquez and Lavinia Biagiotti. She's her mother was the clothing designer Laura Biagiotti, and we're in Italy, and I am remarrying them.
Okay.
In a very sacred, beautiful ceremony that was just over the top awesome. We were all wearing silks by Biagiotti, and it was just unbelievably photogenic. You can go to Ron's garage and watch the video of that wedding if you want to.
Bottom left, that's you with
And
the hat.
Devin.
Oh, that's Devin. Okay.
Yeah, that's when we were in Italy before they decided to get married. They didn't tell me till the day I was supposed to leave, and I had to change my plane ticket to go back so I could do their wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's that on the right? You're dressed like a gypsy? Or?
Yes, this was for Rock the Casbah. Rock the Casbah is a fundraiser for Club Esteem, where I actually used to teach. I was a teacher at Club Esteem
And
many
that's
years
in the
ago.
local area,
Yes,
Brevard County,
it's near
Florida.
yes, and it's to help underprivileged kids to get guided and get graduate, just do good things. So Kim and Bud Defenbach put on this at Matt's Casbah, and that's Derek Gores. He's a famous artist.
Oh yeah, that's Derek Gores.
Yeah,
all dressed
he
up.
looked like
he
was-
likes Bam.
Well,
he likes
oh yeah,
this page.
this
Yeah.
is his Salvador Dali look, and the whole thing was very surreal. And that's
Yes.
Kimberly Ellis behind. She's a body worker and a very cool chick.
Mm-hmm.
And they asked me if I wanted to come play a psychic, and I said, "Wait a minute, do you want me to play a psychic or be a psychic?" And they go, "Well, you're a psychic," and I was like,
Yeah.
"Of course." So they
Aren't
go,
we
"Well,
all?"
do whatever you want." I ended up doing like 8 hours of constant readings.
Oh, I bet.
And I never once went in the tent where we're standing. I was outside doing readings
Yeah.
for the entire time. I only got up to pee.
Yeah.
So giving is part of what I do. When I get into the zone, it's like just keep going and
you
go and go.
get
go.
in.
I got good focus.
And so you have to make sure you replenish by doing your breathing techniques and all of your self-care practices.
Yes.
There's another screen of photos. Can we just look at those quick,
What do we
Jesse? I think.
Okay, on the upper left there, we have Eddie on the right in the red shirt, and then me, and then that's Denny Doherty of the Mamas and the Papas.
Okay.
A very dear friend of ours who is no longer on this planet, but he sang, he's the original member in the Mamas and Papas, the voice of California Dreamin'. Him and Cass were the really good singers. John was the songwriter, Michelle was the hot one. So Denny was a friend with Eddie a long time ago. They did an album in the 70s called What You Gonna Do? And I was so blessed. Denny and I had a very special relationship. I went up to New York to see his Broadway show, his off-Broadway show about the Mamas and Papas, and stayed with him for a week in New York. And
How cool is
And one
that?
day I said to Denny, I said, you know what? I think I need to fly home a day early. He's like, why? And I go, I don't know. I just feel like I need to go. I don't know why. And he goes, honey, we'll change your ticket, whatever you want. Changed my ticket. Right when I flew out, New York plunged into darkness, and they had that big blackout.
Oh, Lord.
That entire blackout happened.
See, psychic.
I know.
Yep.
So I was like, this has to happen. So I don't know the other pictures.
Let's see what else was up there. There was a fellow with the mustache, with the hat. Yeah, who's that?
That's David Crosby. He's
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah, he's a very cool dude. I've been to his house. His wife Jan has a great yoga room, by the way.
Oh, cool.
Two of my friends, a couple of my friends play with him, and I had the opportunity when they were rehearsing for CPR. It was just me and his wife in the room, in the rehearsal space, and I danced like a maniac for their whole rehearsal. Like, I had my own private concert dancing to them.
Oh,
it was
how
hysterical.
cool. And then Jules there, she's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I
this
love
is
Jewel, bottom
this is,
right. Yeah.
probably 1986 or something. I don't know. It
Yeah.
was right. It was
You
right
both
when
look
she
young.
got discovered.
Yes.
And my friend Jenny Price discovered her from Mercury and Atlantic Records. But anyway, Jewel and I were in the same spiritual group.
Oh,
Her
how
mom
cool.
and her, and we were at Brighton Bush Hot Springs in Oregon there. She used to write song ideas, and anything that our spiritual teachers would say, she'd write it on her hands and everything.
Mm-hmm.
We used to exchange massages, and she's one of the funniest people on the planet. She's a hilarious person.
Yeah.
And then on the lower left, that's Dr. Terry Cronin of the Melbourne Independent Filmmakers Festival. He also does cartoons and does some really cool stuff. He's Comic-Con. He's very into. He's written a few books called The Skinvestigator and stuff. He's a really cool dude. We went to high school together.
And you do charity for the Melbourne Independent Filmmakers Festival every year. You're the
Every
MC,
year,
right?
and we play. And in the beginning, I helped kind of show them how to do a nonprofit show, and because that's how we did my light show that I did.
Yes.
I didn't even talk about the light show, but anyway,
I know, we're not going to have
And
time.
then in the upper right, that's Ron Moss of The Bold and the Beautiful. And
yes. And that
he's-
was his wedding,
Yeah.
right? In Italy. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
And you talked about him a little earlier as well, I think.
Yeah, I've known him for forever and ever.
Cool. That's a great picture, by
It
the
is.
way. That looks, it's
I had been to the spa that day.
Yes, everybody
And-
looks hot in
Oh
that
yeah, I
picture.
had
It's
my
like,
hairs
wow.
did. I had my hairs and my nails did.
Yes.
I was feeling all good and spunky. So anyway, that's just a couple pictures.
Cool. Well, RobinandEddie.com is one of Robin's websites.
Yeah,
That's
RobinandEddie.com. And
yeah.
you can also, I have my own website that I'm still trying to figure out how to do.
Of course you are.
It's called RobinKrasny.com, KRASNY.com. We have YouTube channels. You can go watch some of our videos.
Good.
Everything is being up-de-dude. We're working on a new
Yeah.
song right now called Into the Void.
Oh.
And we're
cool.
literally producing it right now.
Into the
Void. Is that the void? That's the
nothingness.
card, right?
Into the void.
So we're working on that, and Eddie and I are busy with that. And I've got that new TV show, that animated show coming up.
Yeah,
There's a lot
Street
of good
Smart.
things. Street Smart.
And I knock on you about your website not being up, but it's hard especially when you're a creative. It's hard to focus on the technical business stuff. It's a whole nother skill set. But we do have to go. And I love you, Robin, and thank you for being here.
I love you,
and thank you
Trisha.
for Jesse,
Thank
who
you, Jesse.
navigated through the craziness and got us back on and gave us
And
some
thank
extra
you,
time.
everybody, for sharing this. And thank you for breathing with us. Okay,
Yes.
breathe with me, breathe with each other, and just put that out there that it's going to make the world a much better place. Because if you're not present, grounded, and accounted for, we can't shift the planet from that higher state.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you next time on BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, Mystics.